What about guns?
Who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face.
Sorry. Spooktober? Creepiness? Maybe. Probably not. I remember playing that stupid game.
Look at him, stuck in a goddamn house, can't even get out. Poor baby Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
CreepyPasta, Jeff the Killer, Internet Historian. Let's go.
So before Netflix ruins it with a feature-length film...
Can I? Because that right there was some bullshit.
Tear this place apart! Tear it apart!
Huh?
He does look good. Alright, they made him look creepy. And they did a good job with that. But the whole storyline and everything else, no. You know, you kind of wish you could unwatch something? That's one of them.
We wanted to make a high-quality adaptation. One that stays true to the lore. Featuring Jungle Jimmy, Chills from Top 15s, The Vulcan, Skit and Sayers.
Who is the first one? Why your eyeballs look
True
like that?
To the lore. Featuring Jungle Jimmy.
Jungle Jimmy, okay.
Jeff the Killer.
Jeff the Killer. Okay, the beginning.
Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Liu couldn't complain though. A new, better house? What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of the neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you." "Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son." She turns around and calls over her son.
Ooh,
"Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mum, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Liu." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object, when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family had done packing, Jeff went up to his mum.
"Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid."
"Jeff," said his mother, "we've just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mum said something, it was final. He walked up to the room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it.
Alright, day 2.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. He sat there, eating his breakfast, and once again got that feeling. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain. But once again, he dismissed it. As he and Liu finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus.
80% off. So Jeff turns into a killer. He gets this strange sensation of wanting to kill.
Oh, look at me, I'm Leatherface.
Sat there waiting for the bus. And then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise.
"Hey, what the hell?"
The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans.
Well, it looks like we got some new meat.
Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny, and the other was huge.
What?
And the other was huge.
Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith.
Jeff and Liu looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have.
And he's Troy.
They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looks like he hasn't exercised since he was crawling. Zing.
And I,
said the first kid,
am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare if you catch my drift.
Liu stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled that knife on him.
Okay.
Tisk, I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way.
The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again.
Uh-oh.
Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else.
Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife.
Oh, and what will you do?
Those
Just as
psychopaths.
he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped the knife and fell to the ground, screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over.
He was covered with 5 pies worth of used blueberry.
Well, it looks like Jeff was protecting his family. Maybe this is just a little taste. He got a little taste and now he's going to become the killer? I don't know. I don't know the story of Jeff the Killer. I just know the game of Jeff the Killer.
He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Liu could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how did you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew that they would be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could.
Okay.
As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Liu made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Liu just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to
got a little
just
taste.
hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay for the entire day of school. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice,
It was a wonderful day.
Day 3.
Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't regular fighting, that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true.
Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Liu.
Son,
Said one of the cops.
we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene.
The bus driver. The bus driver saw them fleeing, I'm assuming. That's the witness.
Witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?
Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Liu had been attacked, but then they'd have no proof that it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because, truth be told, they were.
True.
So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Liu. Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids.
Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Liu tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me.
The cop looked at his partner, and they both nod.
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie.
Wait, said Liu. They all looked up at him, seeing him holding the knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Liu.
What?
It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle.
Son, just put down the knife.
Said the officer. Liu held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. What the fuck else would you drop it? He put his hands up and walked over towards the cops.
No, Liu, it was me. I did it.
Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. So the police led Liu out to the patrol car.
Liu, Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids.
Jeff's mother put his hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Leo. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cops sped off with Leo inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled up into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong.
Son, what is it?
Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him, as Jeff wept in the driveway. So the cops have led his brother off, and they've gone, we'll just sentence him here. Yeah, about a year? Scratching their heads. About a year in juvie? Yeah, sounds about right. Work. Was it you? No, it was me. I can prove it. Look, a scratch. That's all we need. Son, you're coming with me. Do I need a lawyer? No, don't worry about that. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. It's quite a lot. He couldn't look at them. He just couldn't bear to see how they thought of Liu, when really it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Liu at the JTC. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. Wow. This really is a solemn moment. Ad time. Here I have $1 and 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents. There you go. But sir, that life-saving medicine for your daughter costs $1 and 8 cents. I don't have any more money. Sorry, sir. No medicine for you then. Oh God, I wish I had saved more money and hadn't spent full price at a wide range of stores, such as Domino's, Gymshark, and Booking.com. Now my daughter, who was going to be the first female president, is dead from whooping cough. Now I will have to pay even more for the funeral. Don't let this happen to you. Get Honey. Honey is a convenient little tool that lets you save money when shopping online. It's free, by the way. Sign up. Sign the fuck up.
I got Honey.
It's free and it doesn't give you ads. All you do is click this button and it automatically applies discounts for you on pretty much all the big retailers. This is what it's like. Look how easy this is. Just do it. Get the thing. It has like 10 million members. I need whooping cough medicine for my sick future president daughter. So join honey.com/internet historian.
Oh baby, me so honey.
That is, until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtain.
For the party?
And let light flood into the room.
Wait, what's today?
Asked Jeff as he stirred away.
He still gotta go to the party?
Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake.
Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after.
Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be a good thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready. He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, is that all you're going to wear?
Better than wearing too much,
he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room.
I don't have any fancy clothes,
he yelled down the stairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants that he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only a striped pattern shirt, none of which go with the nice dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on.
You're wearing that?
They both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to
You didn't buy your
Barbara
son
and
any nice fancy clothes?
They knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults. No kids. The kids are out in the yard.
Oh.
Jeff, how about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? He said.
The little kids?
No kid, I'm way too old for this stuff.
The kid looked at him with a weird puppy dog face. Please, said the kid.
Fine,
said Jeff. He put on a hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off Liu, until he heard a noise. A weird, rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on...
Oh, they're coming back for some more.
Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat.
Oh boy.
Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred.
Hello, Jeff, is it?
He said.
We have some unfinished business.
Oh, really, Randy?
Jeff saw his bruised nose.
I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to JDC.
Randy got an angry look in his eyes.
Oh no, I don't go for even, I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today.
At a kid's birthday party, though?
Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, their parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets.
Guns?
No one interrupts, or guts will fly.
They said, collectively.
What kind of psychopathic ass kids are these?
And stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabbed his foot and twisted it, causing Randy to fall to the floor. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks up Jeff by the collar and throws him through the patio door.
Oh my god!
Boys.
As Jeff tried...
Come on. Can somebody, anybody stop it?
Boys will be boys.
As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood.
Come on, Jeff! Fight me!
He picks up Jeff and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head.
Okay.
He throws Jeff back into the living room.
Come on, Jeff! Look at me!
Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood.
I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC! And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year. You should be ashamed.
Jeff started to get up.
Oh, finally! You stand up and fight.
Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling.
Go for it, Jeff.
He hasn't felt for a while.
Finally, he's up,
says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed, and all rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill.
Kill.
Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop, as Randy gasps for breath and dies.
Okay.
Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him.
Okay.
Each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind as they let out their final rounds of
This is happening at a kid's
Jeff
party.
ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall.
Start beating
Troy
him?
and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his
What
knife
about
at
guns?
Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face.
Sorry.
Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into a wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them, and they started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as
That's how you can't.
pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As they lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
What's so funny?
Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on.
You about to blow?
What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him.
Wait, but the lighter should go.
As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Get it? Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him into a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead.
Oh, what kind of parents you
The
got?
last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish
now y'all wanna
the flame.
help.
That's when he passed out.
Several days later.
When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. Okay, it's a sexy nurse.
I don't think you can get out of bed just yet,
She said as she put him back in bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. Honey, are you okay?
Get out.
She asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. Oh, honey, I have great news.
Great news?
After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you, they decided to let Liu go.
Yay, Mom. Yay. What the hell wrong with her?
This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. Bless that tube. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then the two of you will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. It's the most convoluted fucking 4 words I've ever read. How about his mother hugged him? Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes to Jeff. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family, which is to say, Jeff's family. They came to the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed.
Let's hope for the best,
said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Jeff's dad stared awestruck at his face.
What happened to my face?
Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. That's another thing. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror. Jeff, said Liu. It's not that bad.
Deadpool's worse, you know? That ain't bad, I guess.
Not that bad,
said Jeff.
It's perfect.
His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Oh, Jeff, are you okay?
Okay, I've never felt more happy. Ha! Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me.
He stroked his face, feeling
All right.
Looking
I mean,
at
way
it
to
in the
take it
mirror.
in. All right. The
What caused all
confidence.
this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity specifically, snapped. Now, he was left as a crazy killing machine. However, his parents didn't know that. Doctor, said Jeff's mum, is my son all right, you know, in the head?
Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff
You
looks
gonna stab
away
your
from
mom?
the mirror. His face still formed into a kind of crazy smile.
Don't stab your mama?
Okay, mommy. Ha 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 ha.
His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes,
This is what came in.
said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked
white
down
hoodie?
to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore.
Wait.
Now they were clean of
What?
blood and stitched
What?
together. He took the clothes. They got burned in the fucking fire and cleaned them of all the blood and vodka and bleach and
You were
cut
back
out
to-
the burned bits and fuck's sake. Jeff's mother led him into a room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day
Okay.
of life.
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun.
Later that evening.
Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Okay, Joker.
What are you doing? Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes! His eyes were seemingly never closing.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burnt out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face.
Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going bananas.
What's wrong, mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can...
How about you lock him in that bathroom real quick?
She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife.
Mommy, you lied.
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them.
So you let your...
Brother Liu
Never
woke
mind.
up, startled by some noise.
You gonna kill your brother
He didn't
too?
hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. But as he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was
Wait, you
watching.
gonna kill your brother too?
He looked up. Before Jeff's hand
Damn.
covered his mouth, he slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Liu. Liu thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip.
Just go to sleep.
To be continued.
To be continued?
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. Don't make no goddamn sense. All right, mom, dad, y'all all at this party watching this fight go down. Two boys with a gun and then turned knife and went into the bathroom to throw some bleach on somebody. Come on, man. You let all this happen to me and then you want to now help me when I'm on fire? Okay, mom and dad. Now, why he went after the brother, I don't know. Because he snapped. And he has no logical sense in there, I guess. But Jeff the killer. But there we go, Blaze Squad. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you blaze up the like button. And I will see you guys in the next video.